there, Taurus. Welcome to your March 2019 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. I've done so many different March readings, end of February readings, that it's like I'm always wondering, okay, what is this supposed to be? So, anyway, this is like open-ended topic. And so just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously, but, you know, think about what it might mean for you. It's always the best way to approach maybe anything in life, right? This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. Which I really enjoy the drawings or illustrations, the pen and ink they appear to be. The heart of the matter for March, which, by the way, is when Uranus goes into your sign. So there's this real shot of innovation and excitement. I think that Uranus is a very stimulating, exciting influence, albeit unpredictable. The moon. Now, you know what's interesting? So we can even say, is there going to be some kind of timing issue that with one of the, either the full moon or the new moon in March, that is kind of a turning point for you, Taurus? So let's see the moon. Oh, okay, here you go. On the same day that there is a new moon in, that Uranus goes into your sign, there's a new moon in Pisces. So that's happening on the same day. So maybe that's kind of hinting at that pivotal transit for you as being a turning point. Now, Pisces is your 11th house of hopes and wishes, okay, where this new moon is landing. And actually, Mercury is retrograding in this house as well. So guess what? The 11th house. Guess what planet rules the 11th house? Uranus. So Uranian energy is all up in your beeswax, in your Kool-Aid in March, Taurus. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me because I'm Taurus rising. So this isn't just about you. This is about me. And yeah, so this is wonderful. And the moon card connects to spiritual matters as well as creativity. So have you been meditating, Taurus? Have you been in touch with something beyond the physical? You're an earth sign. You're very much a creature of the senses. So things that are metaphysical, beyond the physical, you may not really have much use for them. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because again, I'm also talking about myself. I like to think that I'm very grounded, you know, even when I am dealing with spiritual issues. I don't like pie in the sky at all. I have a lot of earth in my particular chart. And so that doesn't interest me. Anything that I do, I want it to have a tangible result. And you're very much in alignment with that. So what you don't want to do is take it to the extreme where you just completely scoff at that. And so if there is some kind of creative project that you've kind of put on the back burner, you might want to bring it out, or you probably have already plans to do that. You don't need me to tell you that because you're already going to do that. The moon card connects to Pisces, even though it rules Cancer, but for some reason it's associated with Pisces, and so maybe that's a person who is in your life. But if you are someone who is working in a bank or doing something that is totally uncreative, you might be thinking, I need to make a change. That could be it too. In the past position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a card I really like, as bare bones as this may look. This really, to me, is a great symbol of the Seven of Pentacles in a very subtle way. If you know what this card represents, it represents in the Rider-Waite deck. Pamela Coleman has an illustration of a farmer, like kind of, you know, looking at his crops, watching them grow. Well, you see here the pentacles are climbing. So it's about having patience to see if something that you have put out is yielding the results that you want. Now with pentacles, there have to be tangible results, right? It can't just be, you know, theoretical, but it has to be, you know, either dollars and cents, or at least generating some attention from others, that they're recognizing what your efforts are, and you're kind of like assessing it. Now this could be something creative, and that's why the moon is in the centerpiece of this reading. I don't know. So maybe you've started a side business. Etsy is a big one for, you know, creative stuff like jewelry and clothing and stuff like that. So I don't know what that means to you. Or maybe even a relationship with a Pisces individual or a Cancer individual. The higher message is the Two of Swords. This can be either a stalemate, a fork in the road, or, you know, a decision that you have to make. Now, isn't it interesting that the sun is in the center of that? What I would say is, whatever decision you make, honor your the highest part of you. Don't make a decision that is fear-based, that is your lower nature. So the moon card sometimes can be about self-delusion. So if you have done something, maybe launched something, and you know, some people, they do launch things, and maybe you've been sinking money into something and it hasn't paid off yet, and you're not really being honest with yourself. I believe in patience, but I also think sometimes people are not in touch with themselves, and they are not really being honest with themselves about something because they want it so badly. And so if this is a relationship, if you have really put some effort into a relationship and you're not getting back what you're giving in, and you know what I mean, I'm not saying tit for tat. I'm saying that it just seems like it's one-sided, but you're not seeing things as you should, then that's going to make it hard for you to make a decision. And that might be why I'm getting the Two of Swords as the highest, the higher message, is that you need to make a decision. You're living in La La Land. You're choosing not to see the truth of the situation. The card that crosses you is the Two of Cups. Now, this is a card of commitment. This is a card of, you know, reuniting with someone. So this could mean that if this is a relationship that you re-established, which in March, you might have these people coming out of the woodwork, these old lovers. It's always a possibility. In a case like that, if you have that happen and you're trying to make it work, it takes two, doesn't it? And this is the number 2. It's funny that I'm getting 2 cards with the number 2, which can speak to choice, and it can speak to sometimes 2 parties. I mean, that there's another party involved. But the bottom line also with the Two of Cups is about commitment. And this can be a situation of unrequited love, where you are in love with somebody and they're not showing you the same, you know, they're not showing you the same care as you are showing them. And it has to be a two-way street. So hopefully, and by the way, the same thing applies to any other kind of endeavor where you may be putting something out and not getting back what you have put out. And, you know, with twos, we could be talking about with clients, for instance. If you're doing something and you're not seeing that connection being made. So if this is something, I was thinking in the creative fields, but it could be with the healing arts. And if you're feeling like you're not connecting with clients and you're just attracting the wrong people, that could also be what's going on. And that's something that I feel like isn't necessarily telling you that you're not cut out to have like a healing business, but you may be going about things the wrong way. And this may be your attitude that is attracting a certain kind of person, and the message, how you're putting it out. So these things can be remedied. It's not like all hope is lost by any stretch of the imagination. What's coming in is represented by the Eight of Cups. So I think that you're going to abandon something, but I don't like the word abandon. You're going to walk away from a situation because you realize that it's not giving you what you want spiritually, that you're finding that there's a dissatisfaction there. And the other thing too that I want to state, that you may have gone into business with somebody and that other person is deceiving you. Maybe there was some money issue where you were putting in a certain amount of money and they promised to, and then they have all these excuses. So then you were putting in more money and it's not an even exchange, or like you're not really partners. You're doing most of the work. And so you may abandon that partnership because you realize that it's not panning out. And the same thing about this, if this is a romantic situation, you may see the futility of it and just walk away. And when you walk away, you're going to be walking towards something else. And here's the outcome, which is a great card. This is the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of financial self-sufficiency. So this is about being able to do something on your own. And so I'm going back to this partnership suggestion, is that you may realize, I don't need another person to work with. I can do this on my own. This may even be like a friend who you were just talking about and like, yeah, wouldn't this be fun if we did this together? And it turned into something that was not fun at all. So in that scenario, you may come to realize, hey, you know, what am I thinking? I don't need somebody to do this. I'm practically doing everything myself anyway. With relationship issues, this is also, even though it's not a necessarily connected to emotional issues, but the number 9 can connect to that sense of really finding yourself, maybe from the spiritual point of view. It's funny, the 8 and the 9, the 8th house and the 9th house, metaphysics and God, religion, and your pentacles. Taurus is a sign that does crave companionship, I would think, because you're ruled by Venus, and so there's always like that social, loving quality that we associate with Venus. And so that's not abnormal to want partnership, whether it be in business or your personal life. But sometimes you might have to go it alone, and that's okay. And you can do it. This can also be a, I think that this card connects to Virgo. So maybe you're going from a Pisces individual to a Virgo. Not sure about that, but or a Cancer to a Virgo. But in any case, I think that Taurus is going to be just fine, whatever your decision is, whatever that Two of Swords represents to you. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this, Taurus. And if you'd like a private reading, I have a bunch of different types, especially astrology-based private readings. So check me out at rainandmoonastrology.com. My website link is below. Take care. Bye.